podcast episode 1 of the Mediums podcast. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the very first episode of the Mediums podcast. It has been a dream of mine for so long to have a podcast, and I cannot wait to share something so special to me with all of you. People ask me all the time, Kara, you were in a very traditional corporate job. How in the heck did you become a medium? So that's what this first episode is all about. I'm going to tell you the story of my own spiritual awakening. So it was a really kind of wild story how it all happened. And when I say medium, I use the phrase spiritual medium because that's what feels the most authentic to me. But other people sometimes describe it as a psychic medium, and that's okay too. So let me just explain what those terms mean so that you can understand it and have a framework as we carry through in this podcast. So a psychic is someone who gets guidance from the other side around significant things that you're working on in your life, some challenging situations that are arising. So when people are asking me for psychic advice, they're often asking questions like, what is the meaning of this particular situation? Why am I struggling with it so much? Or is this the right person for me? I'm having a lot of doubts and questions, and I want to know romantically, is this the right person for me? Or I'm having a really challenging time with a parent figure, a father or mother or a parent figure, and what do I do about it? How do I make sense of all of that? And then a medium on the other side is someone who gets guidance from the other side to help you connect with deceased loved ones. Someone who can connect you with, a deceased parent or sibling or family member in some way, shape, or form. So, anyhow, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Let me go back to the beginning and explain how I became a spiritual medium. Sometimes I think, gosh, it happened out of the blue and overnight. And then other times I look back at all of the different signs and synchronicities and I realize that it was a true awakening process really throughout my entire life, but in particular over an 8-year period. So, for those of you that don't know this particular story, my husband and I really struggled to have a family. It took us years and lots of trying, and we ended up having to do IVF to get pregnant. And sadly, we lost one of the twins. We got pregnant with twins, and partway through the pregnancy, I lost one of the babies. It made me very confused, very emotional. I would say it was like a duality. Like I was so happy to have the baby that I had inside of me, yet I was still mourning the loss of a baby. And I would see twins everywhere. And I think that's how it goes when you struggle with something or you have loss, then you see that thing showing up everywhere under the sun. I would go to a grocery store and see twins, go to shopping and see twins. People would be talking about twins constantly. And I would say that just made it confusing for me and a little unsure of how to navigate that situation. But I carried on, as all of us that suffer the loss of a baby do. And a few years later, I ended up getting pregnant all on my own. And I couldn't believe it. And of course, I thought, oh my gosh, I'm not telling a soul because I don't want to jinx it. And we waited until after the first trimester. And at that time, I was the senior vice president of a company and I had 9 different department leaders reporting up to me. So I had told all of them, hey, guess what? I'm pregnant. I'm so excited. I'm going to need each of you to step up and take care of things while I'm out on maternity leave. And that same exact night that I told everybody, I started miscarrying. And I ended up having to go to the emergency room, have surgery. It was very painful, not just emotionally, but physically painful, like on the floor in heaps, crying, like just devastating. And I thought to myself, why would God do this? Why would he give me a baby and then take it away from me? And I thought, that's not fair. There's no way that this can be happening for me. And a friend of mine said, Well, I see this medium named Rebecca Rosen. She's originally from Nebraska, but she lives in Colorado. She's going to be in Omaha. You should see if you can get in and get a reading with her. And I thought to myself, medium, I don't even know if I believe in mediums. And I'm not sure how I feel about all of that. But that evening, I went to bed and I slept on it and I prayed and I said, if this is going to help me, and I go on her website in the morning, there'll be a spot available. And if there is, I'll take it. And sure enough, there was exactly one spot available in her last group reading. So I thought, okay, I better do it. And it was the most transformative experience of my life. My grandfather came through and he was like a tough old German farmer. And we were close, but not super close. And I thought, really? You're my guide? You're my person that's going to be with me by my side for the rest of my life? And he said, I'm working on myself on the other side. And I think it is just so cool that I can connect with you and I can talk to you. And that experience in particular got me through a pretty dark time in my life. And then I'd say 6 to 12 months, I would get a reading from Rebecca, and I call it like a little spiritual tune up. So when I really needed it, I would just go talk to her about things, career, relationships, all the things, and get advice and guidance from my team in spirit. And about 3.5 years ago, I was getting a reading from her, and she said to me, Kara, I am supposed to tell you that you can do this too. You can be a medium either for yourself or for others. So I tucked that aside and went, Rebecca's freaking crazy. Rebecca is absolutely freaking crazy. And there's no way that I can do this. But I thought, okay. And for a few weeks, I kind of slept on it, thought about it, and then I just did the things that she told me to do. And sure enough, I was able to connect with my team in spirit and particularly my grandpa. And I got a 15-page download of automatic writing from my grandpa and my guardian angels. And I asked them everything. Literally everything you want to know. Is this real? Is this real? Is there heaven? What's this? What's that? And I thought, I might only get one chance, one opportunity to have this connection. So I'm going to get every detail I can. My hand was sore. It was like wringing out sore. And then, of course, the next day it happened, and the next day, and the next day. And it kept happening. And I thought, this is so awesome. I didn't tell anybody. It was just my little secret and my little, I would say, special advantage in the world. Because I would ask for help about everything I was going through, professionally, personally, everything. Before sales meetings, I would get advice from my team in spirit about how to approach things. And so it was like my secret superpower in a way. And then out of the blue, my friend's mother, who had passed away, swooped in on the page and said, Hi, Kara. This is Kathy, and I need you to deliver a message to my daughter. And I need you to tell her to go to the Lake of the Ozarks. And that's all I have to say. Okay, bye. And then I was like, whoop, a line off the side of my page. And it was in totally different handwriting than I was getting in my downloads from my team in spirit. So I thought, what do I do with that? Oh my gosh, I can't just call my friend and be like, I talked to your dead mom and she wants me to tell you these crazy things to go to the Lake of the Ozarks. And so my team in spirit said, call your friend and tell her you had a dream about her mother, and then share the message that her mother gave you. So that's exactly what I did. I called my friend who lives in Minnesota and I said, Amy, this is kind of a wild story, but your mom came to me in a dream and she wants me to tell you to go to the Lake of the Ozarks. And Amy started crying and I started crying. And I said, Are you okay? Oh my gosh, I didn't want to disrupt you. I didn't want to cause sadness or harm. And she said, No, you are my sign. My cousin lives in Texas. We've been talking, and this was the height of COVID. No vaccines. No one went anywhere. We were quarantined to our houses. And she said, I just missed my cousin so badly. And we were thinking maybe we should drive halfway and meet at Lake of the Ozarks and spend time together, but we didn't know if it was safe. So I prayed to God and I prayed to my guardian angels. And I said, Mom, if you're up there, just give me a sign. Tell me if it's safe for me to go meet my cousin or not. And she goes, "You're my sign. You are my sign from my mom. She came to you in a dream." And that was the start of how I helped people connect with their team in spirit. And now, after that, the rest is history. I've done hundreds of private readings for people all over the world, from Canada to Europe to Australia to New Zealand to Malaysia. I mean, literally all over the world. And in the next episode, I'm going to talk you through how I connect with my team in spirit and the exact framework that I used to awaken my spiritual gifts. And I'm going to teach this framework to you so that you can use it too. So until next time, keep shining your light bright in the world, my friends. Namaste.